When I had a lot of heat on me, and I always had a lot of heat on me, but when I knew it was really coming down, there were certain people that were legitimate people that I said, you know what? It's best I don't come around because they're going to think that you're doing something wrong, even when you're not doing something wrong. You don't need the headache. You don't need the investigation. It's best I don't come around. Carries himself great. He speaks the part. He looks the part. He dresses the part. He's got command. He walks into the room. He commands it. He's a great character. Now, having said that, is this show authentic? Well, hey everyone, welcome to another Sit Down with Michael Franzese. Hope everybody is doing well. All is very good, very blessed on this end. As always, my friends, I give all the praise, honor, glory, and thanksgiving to our God for that. Tulsa King. I wonder how you all feel about that show. I have to tell you this. I watched all of season 1. I watched all of season 2. And now I've watched the episodes in season 3. I think it's a great show. I really do. You know, they have a different twist on this whole mob genre, and that's what we need. We don't want to see the same old, same old. And, you know, it's very hard to duplicate such great movies like Goodfellas, which is old school kind of stuff. Casino, old school, Bronx Tale, old school kind of stuff. Hard to duplicate that, and I think, you know, after seeing the latest De Niro film, I think people are getting tired of it, tired of looking at it in that same old way. So, you know, Taylor Sheridan and Terrence Winter, who both are brilliant. They're both brilliant writers. Terrence is an absolute brilliant writer. Sopranos, Boardwalk Empire, and a number of others. They came up with a different twist. And Stallone is the perfect character. I have to tell you this. If I had, first of all, he reminds me of my dad. You know, Dwight Manfredi, Stallone, reminds me of my dad for some reason. It really does. And it's in a good comparison, really good. But, you know, if you had to pick a mobster that you want to typify the mob, you know, bring some, let me make sure I got the right word, integrity to that life, substance to that life, it would be Dwight Manfredi, Sly Stallone. I think he's doing a great job. He's a guy like, wow, carries himself great. He speaks the part, he looks the part, he dresses the part, he's got command, he walks into the room, he commands it. He's a great character. He really is. Now, and I'm really enjoying it. Now, having said that, is this show authentic? Well, to a degree. Stallone plays it well. So in that regard, yes, it's authentic. Now, you remember how it started. You know, he comes home after 25 years in prison. He does a long bid, you know, for murder. He considered it a mercy killing, but it was for murder. He comes back to New York and he's sitting with the boss and the guys, and he thought he was going to get a great welcome. 25 years, kept his mouth shut. Now he's back. You know, the key to the city, as far as the mob life, should be his, right? Doesn't happen that way. That's pretty realistic, I got to tell you that. Doesn't happen that way. They want to send him out to Tulsa, Oklahoma, of all places, to start the family or to bring money into the operation, whatever. They're branching the family out to Tulsa, basically get rid of him. They don't know what he's going to do out there. He's been gone for 25 years. Doesn't really know what's happening. So they send him out there. And that's a great, 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 you know, difference in this whole series. Not in New York. He's not in Chicago. He's not in New Orleans. He's not in Florida. He's not in any of these places where the mob normally exists. Doesn't exist in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So he's got to go out there and start all over again. Now, the way he does it, is that realistic? No. I mean, come on. Nobody's going out to Tulsa, Oklahoma and take over the town like Stallone does. But it doesn't have to be realistic in the storyline. It really doesn't. Are the characters good? Is the story good? Is there intrigue? Is it moving along in the right way? It absolutely is. All of those elements are there. Really, I was intrigued from day one on it, from episode 1, I have to say. Episode 2, I said, oh, come on, man, let's pick it up a little bit towards the end. And then they did. My friends, you may not have heard, but I have now a wine branded in my name, Franzese wine. It's from the world's oldest vineyards. We have something for everybody. We got beautiful alcoholic wine and, of course, non-alcoholic wine. Big sellers. People are loving it. Get it. Tell your friends about it. The world's first vineyards. It's an offer that you shouldn't refuse. So go to franzesewine.com and enjoy it. Have a toast on me. Now, I'm not going to review, all of season one. I should have said, I'm sorry, season one and season two. I'm not going to review it all. You've seen it. You can go back and watch it. I want to get into season 3, episode 1 and 2. Now, I don't want to say it all if you haven't watched it yet, but I'm just going to talk about some things and how brilliantly they've now set this up. If there was a little bit of a slowdown, in season 2 towards the end, Sheridan and Terrence Winter, they didn't make that same mistake in season 3. It starts off with a bang. And I have to tell you, Stallone is just terrific. He really is. The way he commands his presence. Frank Grillo, love the guy. He's the mob boss of Kansas City. I love the guy. He comes on, he's always mad, he's always angry, he's always pushing himself around, his weight around, but he's a good character. He's a nemesis to Stallone for a bit, and then he comes back, and now they're frenemies, so to speak. Let's use that word. But a lot of great things are set up in episode 3. I really mean that. Great stuff is set up. The intrigue. This is going to be a good season. I think it's real. I think it's going to be the best season. Obviously, season 1, this is intriguing. It starts where everything is set up. He's got his new crew. He's doing all of this stuff. But I think season 3 is going to be the best. I think they've really got a hold on it. They're setting up all of this different plots that are going on. And I love it. Different obstacles that he has to face. Now, how does it start off? I'll tell you how episode 1, season 3 starts off, because obviously it continues from 2, for those of you that have seen it. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Go on Paramount, do whatever you have to do, watch it. It's terrific. They lock him up at the end of the last episodes in season 2, he's locked up, right? They go into the ranch with his girlfriend there that runs the ranch, and they take him out in blindfolds, they handcuff him. They don't even know if it could have been his enemies, whatever, but it was the FBI SWAT team, whatever you want to call them. And they start questioning him about certain things. That's how it ends. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Is the empire going to fall apart? Everybody doesn't know what's going on. His whole crew, that crazy crew, that's nothing like a New York or Chicago crew for sure. They're all Oklahoma guys. What's going to happen? Can we still run the dealership? Is the marijuana thing going to go without Dwight, without his charisma, how are we going to continue this? So everybody's in turmoil. They don't know what's going to happen. His girlfriend there, out there runs the ranch. What's going to happen? Well, season 3, episode 1 opens up with him being in jail, and they walk him out through the corridor and they put him in a room. And in comes an FBI agent who doesn't like Stallone. Why doesn't he like Dwight? Well, it just so happens that the murder that Dwight committed that got him the 25-year sentence was an informant for this FBI agent who was allegedly gathering a lot of good information. And so he's got it in for Dwight, got it in for Stallone. So he tells him in this meeting, and Stallone says to him, listen, it was a mercy killing. I had to kill him because he was dying anyway, in the fire, I think it was, and it wasn't Dwight's fault. So he said it was a mercy killing. But anyway, this FBI agent says, let me explain something to you, Dwight. I know everything about you from the minute you stepped out of prison. Everything. I know everything that you're doing. I've got something on every member of your crew. I've got something on your daughter. I've got something on your girlfriend. And we're going to take them all down, every single one of them, unless you play ball with us. That's what he says. And he doesn't tell him what he wants to do. He just says to him straight out, when I call, you better answer. Pick up the phone, or this is going to really get out of hand. And then they let him go. So they didn't really have anything on him that maybe they did, that they could have got him right away, but they want to use him as an informant. Now, he doesn't agree to anything. He didn't become an informant. He just says, okay, whatever you want me to do, tell me, I'll rat out Frank Grillo, Bevilacqua, his name is, whatever. No, he didn't do that. He just said, okay. And he gets out. But now he's in what am I going to do? My whole crew, they could take down. My girlfriend runs the ranch, she could take down. So he goes to see his girlfriend. He tells her, hey, we got to separate. I don't want to bring the heat on you. And I got to tell you something. In that life, when you care about somebody, you do that. If you got when I had a lot of heat on me, and I always had a lot of heat on me, but when I knew it was really coming down, there were certain people that were legitimate people that I said, you know what? It's best I don't come around. because they're going to think that you're doing something wrong, even when you're not doing something wrong. You don't need the headache. You don't need the investigation. It's best I don't come around. When I cared about somebody and I didn't want them to take a fall or get in trouble or start getting hassled by the FBI, I would do that. And it's the right thing to do. And my father did it also. And anybody that was decent in that life, you know, and really had feelings for somebody, they would do the same thing. I don't want to ruin their business or anything else. So I understood that, and he did that, and it was the right thing to do. But he had to get back with his crew. He had to keep things going. At the same time, he gets a call from a guy in New York. I don't want to, again, set this all up. It was another mob guy, a boss. And basically what he's told at this meeting, and then I'm not going to get into too much detail. I don't want to ruin it for you. But what he's told at this meeting is that you still owe. You know, it starts off nice and all that, all the niceties. Goes downtown to Little Italy to meet him. And it's all the nice stuff it starts out. But then he tells him, we're partners. Anything you got out in Oklahoma, we're 50-50. He said, it's right for you to share. But basically, Stallone came home and they gave him nothing. They sent him out to Oklahoma. They gave him nothing. So what are they really entitled to back there? Really nothing. But it was a contentious meeting, even though Dwight doesn't make it seem that way. A little bit, you can tell. But it was a contentious meeting. There's no question about it. So he's got that to deal with now. New York is on him, right? He decides through a series of things that he's going to get into the liquor business. He wants to buy a distillery. And he hooks up with the guy from the distillery, and he goes to meet him. He sits down. Hey, this is a great business. Let's do it. He meets them through somebody. I don't want to give it away. And they sit down. He says, I understand that you're selling this, but I'm going to double the offer. Whatever it is that's on the table, I'll double it. Guy says, hey, it's great, but I can't do it. So now Dwight knows something's going on there. Well, apparently he's got another offer from somebody. It's a lower offer, but the guy he's got the offer from is a big shot, very well connected, bad guy. Let's put it that way. So now this confrontation happens with Dwight and the bad guy. His name is, I forget his name. I don't want to give too much away. That guy warns Stallone, stay away from this. This is my deal. Well, you don't do that to Dwight. He doesn't back down. He said, no, you don't understand. I don't back down. Basically told him that one way or the other. So now the bad guy goes to see the owner of the distillery, and he tells him straight out, you're buying this from me. And the guy says, no, I got a better offer, and I'm going that way. Next thing you know, a catastrophe happens to that guy. We'll leave it at that. Don't want to ruin it. And now Dwight has another enemy, another one, very powerful. And he's a bad guy. You can see him. He's a great actor, by the way. Great actor, bad guy. So now he's got another enemy to deal with. A guy that's very powerful, got a lot of connections out there. So it really starts to get, okay, he's got a battle in New York. He's got a battle with this guy. This guy is even more powerful than the ones he had in the past. And then Bevilacqua, Frank Grillo, comes in and says, hey, where's my end of all of this? And Dwight says, just calm down, you know. And then we see that maybe Bevilacqua, Frank Grillo, is still talking to the guys in New York. So you don't know if he's really a friend of Dwight's or not. All of this stuff is happening. And it's going to be good. I can see the way it's building up. It's going to be good. All right. So you got to get into season 3. It's a couple of episodes already. Get into it. I know you're going to enjoy it. No question about it. And again, let's go to the authenticity. You know, people have asked me not only about Tulsa King, but about Boardwalk Empire. Is it a great show? And the answer is yes. It's a brilliant series. Is everything so accurate? Did it really happen that way? No. You know, Godfather of Harlem. Did it happen that way? Is it a good series? Absolutely a good series. Did it happen exactly that way? And I had a brief conversation online with Chris Columbus, who's the producer of the show, executive producer, I believe, whatever his title is, his show. And I said, it's a great show. Not authentic, because Chin Gigante wasn't involved in the drug business to the extent that you say he was. Well, who cares? Who cares? This isn't a history lesson. It's not a documentary. It's a great series that you're there to enjoy. So don't look at it and say, oh, you know what, this is not really accurate, and that didn't happen that way, and this would never happen at all. Don't look at it that way. You know, the same thing with Boardwalk Empire. The same thing with The Sopranos, the starter of all of these great series. Was it totally authentic? No, not at all. Would a mob boss ever be meeting with a psychiatrist? Of course not. He'd be dead. even in the trunk of his car along with the psychiatrist. You've heard me say that before. So don't look at it this way. Just look at it. Are you enjoying it? Is it intriguing? Are the actors doing their job? Is the storyline holding you? Are the plots great? Is it building tension? What do you think? That's how you look at these things. Don't look at it for exact authenticity, because I'm telling you right now, there ain't a guy from New York going out to Tulsa, Oklahoma and taking over the whole town. Not happening. To any town like that. It's just not happening. And not so quickly. But again, this is a series that has to develop. But it's not happening. Trust me on that. But again, I want to give my take. You know, and I'm also going to make a comparison that you might be shocked to it. But I'm telling you this. Stallone is doing that good of a job. You know who one of my favorite, if not my favorite of all time actor is in a role like this? Armand Assante in Gotti. Brilliant. How many times have I said this? Michael, are you going to say this again? Yeah, I am. Brilliant. And same with Anthony Quinn in that. Brilliant as Neil Delacroix. Just brilliant. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Stallone is doing a very, very good job. And I'm looking at them in the same, wow, this guy is really, really doing a great job. I mean, what more do you want me to say when I compare him to two of my favorite actors in this role of all time? You know, you can almost say it's, some of you got to, come on, Michael, come on. I'm giving you my opinion. Disagree, put it down, tell me. I'm giving you my opinion. Stallone is killing this role. And I'm saying it again. If I had to design the mob guy, this is the guy, it would be Stallone. It would be Armand Assante. It would be The Godfather, you know, Don Corleone, of course. It would be these guys. Why? They carry themselves. They got charisma. They walk into the room. They have command. Reminds me a lot of my dad. My dad walked into the room. You knew he was in that room, period. All eyes were on him. That's Stallone right now. Look at it. Don't take my word for it. Look at it. You could see the way his character is. Compare him with some of the other characters. I mean, you know, in a way, you can look at Joe Pesci and say the same thing. But when Pesci walks in the room, he's not stealing the room. When he opens up his mouth and he does his thing, okay, you know, on screen, you're, wow, this guy, you know, but in a crazy sort of way. But Stallone is dignity. You know, he walks in, he's got command. You know he's the boss. There's no question about it. You know he's the boss. You don't even have to say anything. I loved this guy. The wardrobe is great. He's got one suit on that I got to tell you, with a hat that he's wearing, the colors, perfect. I love the wardrobe. And I love the fact that they're dressing him up like that. Because again, people, I have to tell you, you know, and don't get upset with me, but there's times when I see the way certain guys are portrayed in this life, and I also see the way certain guys carry themselves, and I said, man, come on. You know, at least let the life have a little dignity. I mean, we were a force in this country for quite some time. You know, I said that. And, you know, I respect when guys dress the part. You know, I did when it was appropriate. I got to tell you right now, guy, I probably had 100 suits. I really did. And some of them, yeah, fell off the back of a truck if we got a deal, whatever. But I didn't like shopping for clothes. So when I got a deal, I'd buy a suit in 3 or 4 different colors or whatever. And I just put them in a closet, right? You know, I dressed the part when I had to, most of the time, tried to look right. But some guys just don't carry themselves that way. So when I see Stallone portrayed that way, when I saw Armand Assante dressed that way, portrayed that way, Neil Delacroix, the same thing, portrayed that way. You know, all of the guys, Michael Corleone, same thing, portrayed that way. He dressed up sharp. It's cool, and it adds something to the show. It does. The guy is in command of himself, and that's what you're supposed to be portraying here. People that are in command. I love it. I'm enjoying it very, very much. You know, I'll catch the next episode. If you want, at the end of this, I'll do a review of everything when they wrap it up for season 3. And I hope it continues. I really do. This is a perfect day for Stallone. I hope it continues. And I hope you get into it, and I hope you enjoy it. So what else we got coming on? People, the wine, thank you very, very, very much. Everybody's enjoying our fruit wines. I have to say that. Our strawberry, our cherry, our pomegranate, and our blackberry. Blackberry, my favorite. Everybody's enjoying it. And we really thank all of you. So many of you have bought our wine, and you know that every bottle of wine now, we contribute a strong percentage to Paul Hutchinson and his organization to fight human trafficking with our young people. And he's doing a great job, and we're supporting it all the way. And now we're having other organizations that are contacting us. So this is a great cause. It's a unifying cause. I'm not asking you for anything now, but for those of you that buy our wine, know that you're contributing. So thank you very much for doing that. And I know you're going to enjoy it for the holidays. There's no question about it. You know, we're having a great season so far already. So thank you very much for that. Got a lot of good stuff coming up, my friends, really. We have a lot of good plans, a lot of good things we're going to do. What would you think about me talking about my favorite meals that we enjoyed? My favorite meals, you know, Italian. I never really said that. I never really got into that. But how would you like that? You know, how would you like to see us maybe doing some cooking? I have some secret recipes, I have to tell you that I haven't shared. My meatballs, second to none. Not my recipe, it was my grandmother's recipe. Terrific. I got to tell you, I might be sharing that. We may be doing it on camera. Have some fun with it. Have some great Italian meals. My wife's a terrific cook. My partner, Tony, terrific cook. Everything great. I got to tell you. So we may be doing some stuff like that. Always the mob stuff. And people, anytime there's an issue that I think we need to discuss, like Charlie Kirk, how could you avoid that? You would not expect me to avoid that. How to talk about it, how to give you my take. You know, I did something on how you manage stress. How do you manage stress? Being in the mob, being a hunted guy, 18 arrests, 7 indictments, time in prison, everything that you can imagine going on, worrying about the street. How do you manage stress? You know, I did a video on it. It got a lot of great comments, you know. So anytime, and if you have something you want me to do, a topic, let me know. I'd be happy to do it if it makes sense. Happy to do it if it makes sense. So let me know. But right now, we're finishing up with Tulsa King. Go and watch it. It's on every Sunday night. Watch it. And then obviously you can get it on Paramount. Once one episode shows, then you can get it anytime. You can go back and watch all of season 1, season 2. If you really want to be entertained, do that. I have to ask you one other thing. There's a couple of great series on now. Crime series in general, because not everything is a mob series, but there's crime series. What do you think about me reviewing some of these crime series and letting you know whether they're authentic or not, how the characters are, maybe get you into it a little bit? If you think that's a good idea, there's a couple right now I can talk about that I'm really enjoying. I'm not going to give the name unless you let me know this is someplace you want me to go. So that's it. Tulsa King. Go and watch it. Good show. Great show. Stallone, terrific job. Frank Grillo, always a terrific job. Love the guy. And it's something that you can't not enjoy it. You cannot. And again, don't look, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Don't look at that. Just watch it. And I got to tell you, Terrence Winter and Taylor Sheridan, these two guys are top of the game. No doubt about it. I'm going to have an opportunity to have lunch with Terrence soon. I'm not going to tell you why, but I am, and I'm looking forward to that. He's here in LA, and we're going to get together soon. So that's it for today, my friends. How do I always leave you? Same way, never going to change. Please be safe. You know something? If the mob was patrolling your neighborhoods, you wouldn't have to worry about some of the stuff that was going on. We would handle it. Nobody would get involved in doing stuff to our people in our neighborhoods. I promise you. But that's yesterday's news. But be safe, please. Ladies, look at your surroundings. Know where you are. Don't take anything for granted. Watch all of these crazy things that are going on. They're sending kids up to you. You know, in shopping malls, sending a kid out. Oh, I lost. Bring me to my mother's car, my father's car, and boom. Then they kidnap you, throw you in a car. Be careful. Don't get into your car next to a van. If you see a van there, be very cautious. Side door opens up. You're opening up your car. Boom. They throw you in there. It's happening. It is happening. I'm not making this stuff. Be safe. Ladies, be aware of your surroundings. Be healthy, of course. My daughters, terrific job they did on autism. My girls now, Girl By, Franzese Girls Productions, I think, or at Franzese Girls Productions, Girl By, that's it. But go and watch them. They're doing a great job. People are loving it. Comments are great. They did something on autism. I have an autistic grandson who I love. Little Jack's 13 years old. My daughter's done a wonderful job. She has tremendous insight. Go and watch them. They're doing a great job. People are loving it. So I'm so happy for them. They're finally stepping out. They always hated the camera. Now they're coming forward. And they're two very pretty girls. I have to say that. Stay away. One of them's married. The other one's not married. But you got to get my permission first. It doesn't matter how old she is. But anyway, enjoy it. Be safe. Be healthy. God bless each and every one of you. We got to bring God back into America. We got to bring the family back into America, the root of all the problems, kicking God out and saying the family doesn't have value, the nuclear family. That's the problem. Break it down. That's it in a nutshell. Let's bring God back in. God bless each and every one of you. God bless your neighborhoods, your communities. God bless your workplaces. God bless your homes, of course. God bless America. And yes, everyone, I'll see you next time. Tulsa King, go and watch it. Stay tuned. My friends, before you leave, I got something special for you. You really want to be part of my legacy, part of a community, then join the Franzese family. You're going to get Q&As with me privately. You're going to get behind-the-scenes stories I've never told before. I can't say everything on YouTube. You're going to get Q&As. You're going to get Zoom calls. You're going to get a bunch of people working together for the benefit of all of us. Be part of the legacy. I'm telling you, this is an offer that you shouldn't refuse. You want more of me? This is the place to go. Be part of the elite. MichaelFranzese.com/family. Join up now.